Now that was a season finale, and I definitely have to talk about it. Not to mention some of my prior predictions actually were correct. Spoiler alerts for all Snowpiercer media released to this point, including graphic novels and the movie. Let's start with something I got correct. First things first, I was correct about Boki.
Dr. Hedwood, where's our boy?
Right here, sir.
There he is. Yes. Hello, lad. Our new cold man. Rescued from the aquarium explosion. Resurrected by the good doctor. What do you think? I see
For those of you that don't remember, this is Boki.
Okie dokie. Let's go make cool.
You heard the man. Let's go make coup.
He gets badly beaten. Then likely frozen when the aquarium car breaks apart. This would account for why the arm we see is covered in scars. Yay! And I'm going to say I was correct about how the factions of the train would break out. More interesting is Leighton taking control of the Big Alice engine, while Melanie has the Snowpiercer engine, and Wilford ends up in control of like AgSec or some other vital part of the train. This would allow Wilford to remain the primary enemy in the narrative, but give him significant control over who ends up in charge. Although my timing was off. My guess is this happens mid-season 4? Snowpiercer Season 3, Episode 10 can be divided into roughly 3 parts. Prelude to War, Saying Goodbye, and Finding New Eden. Before I get started on the first part, I do want to say that I'm slightly annoyed at Melanie's self-righteous attitude. Yes, we get it. You can be the bad guy. You were the bad guy for all of Season 1.
I guess someone has to be the monster. The one who favors reason and shatters dreams. I've died and sacrificed my bond with Alex so many times for this train. To surrender now would render that meaningless.
I said we get it. The train balkanizes with Melanie and Snowpiercer, Andre and Big Alice, and Wilford taking the night car. In hindsight, Wilford taking the night car should have been obvious. I do like how we see some of the characters have changed over 3 seasons. Ruth initially sides with Melanie, which makes enough sense, I suppose. She's a general fan of order, and that is what Melanie is sort of promising. But the second Melanie starts talking about working with Wilford, Ruth is out.
I need an ally. Not Wilford.
I can control him.
Well, I'm sorry. But I've spent too long redeeming myself to go back now.
Ruth became one of my favorite characters during Season 2. Unlike Melanie, she seemed willing to directly address her past actions.
But don't strip him down and mutilate him just because you can. It's not right. Believe me, I know I've done it. You'll never be the same again once you have. This is not the way. Not anymore.
Not to mention, she organizes the resistance at the beginning of Season 3.
Message for the tippity top.
I didn't hear the password, Mr. Pike. I expect more from my second in command.
Melanie just kind of says she would do things different if she was in charge.
Mr. Wilford engineered Snowpiercer to function in a certain way. If I'd have created it, I would have created a different world, a more just world, but I didn't. I inherited someone else's creation.
Except
He built the Eternal Engine.
No, he didn't. I did. I built this train, Ruth. I put everything I had into it. Everything. And Wilford sold tickets.
anyways, Andre and Melanie realize they're both dum-dums, and if they tear the train apart, it's never going to end. They'll just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
You really want to let Wilford be a part of that?
You're falling right back into using fear to keep order.
You picked up the sword.
Right back to shedding blood.
Fear or blood?
And either way, he wins.
And we both lose.
So they do the only rational thing available to them. Banish Wilford.
Are we all going to work this out amicably then?
We are. Only you're not coming to the table.
I mean, it's 6 months in here. There's suspension fluid, stimulant, timer. You can only stay under so long before you have to wake yourself up. Figure out where you are.
You're too weak to simply cut my throat, late. Cowards. All of you. Now let's see who's the real survivor.
I did not see this coming. I had a feeling they wouldn't kill Wilford off. A bit before Wilford appeared, Sean Bean had made a statement that he's not interested in roles where his character dies. And then, oddly enough, he did an elusive target stint in the video game Hitman, where you kill him like 3 times, so who knows anymore, right? Banishing Wilford preserves him as a character for later use, but gets him out of the way for as long as the writers want, and plants a solid MacGuffin for use. It also brings an early end to yet another war aboard Snowpiercer. Then they split the train in half.
Citizens of Snowpiercer, as the fork to New Eden approaches, I am proud to say that we have found a way through our impasse.
The train will be divided in AgSec.
Every passenger will be allowed to choose between the train with me.
And New Eden with Andre Layton.
I get that splitting the train at AgSec makes a simple sort of sense, but given the short nature of the journey to New Eden and how Big Alice survived on its own for 7 years, they probably didn't need to split it right down the middle. But who cares? Let's talk about who stayed on Snowpiercer and who left for New Eden. First off is Oz. No surprise here, he's been looking for a fresh start for a while now.
Well, he's a pilgrim now.
There's still time to come with me, Audrey.
You're chickening out. For me, from power, and for what, to go plant potatoes in an igloo? You don't even know.
Yeah. I like that part.
Wait your turn, LJ. I will get to you. Then we have Roche and Carly.
Anyway, I gave Carly the choice.
I definitely want off.
So that's what we're doing.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers, Bess.
Which also makes a lot of sense. Roche wants to be with Carly. Carly similarly wants a new start. Ben decides he'll stay with Melanie on Snowpiercer.
But that's only half of it. You want me to stay? I need the rest of you.
I'm here. I'm yours.
Well, then you, he didn't come wait.
At this point, I was worried, since if Ben is staying, that leaves the Pilgrims without an engineer. But that's okay. As it turns out, Javi is joining the Pilgrims.
Goodbye, Javi.
Adios, amigo.
Which surprised me at first, but once I thought about it, I realized Javi joining with Melanie was more about Andre lying than Melanie's vision for the future.
Estoy mamá esta vaina. Qué bueno, por lo menos esta vez no estaba en el baño. What I'm saying is, at least I wasn't in the bathroom when you took the train again this time. I can't believe Ben lied to me.
It's not about the lie, Javi. The data and the facts on the ground don't justify the risk.
Okay. It is about the lie.
In the previous episode, Ben said that Javi did the math and agreed that a warm zone could exist.
Has Javi analyzed it?
Yeah, top to bottom. He's on board.
Of course he's on board. I mean, we told him you've been there.
I sort of feel bad for Javi. It seemed like he's always getting lied to or left behind. I bet for him leaving Snowpiercer was bittersweet. On one hand, his only friends are Ben and Melanie, it seems. Although he has been getting along with Sykes well this season. On the other hand, it did seem those two were always outvoting him. Leaving probably felt like jumping into the unknown, but sometimes that's what a person needs. Quick aside, I tend to think jumps into the unknown are great, both in fiction and in real life. They keep us from stagnating and introduce things new that we wouldn't have otherwise experienced. In a very surprising moment, Miles decides to stay on Snowpiercer.
Melanie and Ben are the best engineers there's ever been. I need to keep learning with them. I'll be fine.
Okay. Hey, long tail.
Tail. One tail. Always.
And then we get to Bess and Audrey.
What do you want to do? I was the best version of myself here. You showed me that. I need to stay, Bess. I've been dreaming to get off this train for so long.
I was really upset here. I wanted Bess and Audrey to stay together. It was clearly a hard decision for both characters, one that made me very sad. Psych! Bess changes her mind at the last minute, in a moment that is beautiful and touching.
In 20, 19, 18, 17,
I can't do it.
15, 14,
I'm sorry, you're the one I have to lose.
12, 11, 10,
Go get her.
8, 7, 6,
Take care of each other.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I love how they're setting up Bess to lead the brakeman on Snowpiercer. It's probably the perfect role for her given what she's gone through and how much she's grown. And then the trains separate. Snowpiercer continues on the track to keep its citizens safe until the world is ready for rehabilitation. Big Alice diverts to roll the dice on starting fresh now.
También tengo una más Snowpiercer.
And then, after a difficult journey, we make it. It looks like a good setup for season 4. Half the cast making a new colony in the Horn of Africa, the other half continuing aboard an aging Snowpiercer waiting for a better time to stop. And then this happens! This could be many things. I'm going to need more time to put some theories together. At first glance, I'm going to say it's survivors that live in a bunker in a way similar to Asha. I will be doing a more in-depth theory video on what we could see for season 4. I really want time to form new theories here. Those are my thoughts and reactions for the season finale of Snowpiercer Season 3. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and stay tuned for my Season 3 reaction and theory video where I consider the entire season as a whole and make predictions about what those rockets are and where the show could be going. Goodbye! Sorry, I forgot. LJ chokes to death. Bye!